Hello friends, welcome to Crackit CSE. In this series of database, today we will be understanding some basics of SQL along with the execution flow. So in the previous video, we have discussed about the introduction of SQL and what are the different types of SQL queries or the query languages we have in SQL. So in this video, we will be discussing some basic SQL and what are the clauses, what is the execution flow with some example, and we'll also be understanding the equivalent relational algebra query for any specific SQL query. So without wasting time, let's start this. See, so this is the general structure of the SQL. What is the meaning of the general structure? That if you want to find out the query, if you want to write any query, what should be the syntax? What should be the syntax? So the syntax should be like this: select, distinct is optional, select attribute name from the particular table, where condition group by some attribute which is having some specific condition, order by some attribute, and here it will be either ascending or descending. So by default it is ascending, but if you want to specifically write in the descending order, then it is descending. So we'll be discussing all these three clauses in detail. So now see, what will be the execution flow? First of all, whenever you are performing any operation on a table, you need to know that from which particular table you need to extract the data, from which particular table you want to retrieve the data. That means, first of all, I need to check the from portion. First of all, I need to check the from portion. That means from which particular table I have to take the data. So once I am having a data, then I have to check that what condition is to be satisfied. Like in relational algebra, first we perform the join operation or the cross product. After that we go with the specific condition. So after getting the table, we will be checking for the condition. If that condition is satisfied, then we'll see if we have to group it. That means we have to group it by some attribute or not. Then we have to check for the having condition. Later we'll move on to the select. Then we have to check for the distinct. Then we have to order them accordingly. So this is the sequence. So let me write down the execution flow. So in case if you are having any problem in understanding, just bear with me for a few minutes. You will be getting the clear idea why I am telling all these things, because so many things are interconnected in this video now. So this general structure and this next thing, which is equivalent relational algebra query, these are the interrelated things. So just be with me for that. You will be easily getting what is the matter over here. So see, first of all, we need to go with the from. So we have identified that from which particular table I need to take the data. Then I have to check condition, and the condition is given in the where clause. Once I checked the condition, then we have to group. Then we have to group the data which is in group by clause, and we have to group by satisfying some condition which will be giving in the having condition. After this having, we have to select some attribute. We have to select some attribute. Then we have to check whether we have to select the distinct attribute or all attribute. So first of all, we will be selecting. Then if distinct is required, then we will be taking only distinct value. And after that, we have to sort them. Order by is used to sort the values. You have to sort them by using order by clause. So this is the execution flow. This is how a particular SQL query will be resolved. So whenever you are writing a query against a table, against a database, this should be the order in which it has to be expanded to get out the required rows or required information from the database. Now see, here I am having a SQL query. So this is a SQL query I am having. Now we have to check what is the equivalent relational algebra query. So as I already told you that, first of all, we will be going with this from. The from is, here I am having multiple tables. So in SQL, whenever we are having multiple table in from section, that means we need to perform the cross product. That means we need to perform the cross product. And after this cross product, we have to check for the where clause, that means condition. So you know that after performing the cross, we will select by checking some condition. So we have to check this P condition here. After this P condition, we have to select this, then we have to make sure that distinct is available. So this should be the sequence. As you can see, group by order having is not there, so we are just ignoring them. So what will be the equivalent relational algebra query over here? So what I told you, that first of all we need to go with the from. So in from I have to cross product all of these tables. So what I have to do, I have to do the cross product, that is R1 R2 cross product with R3 up to cross product with Rn. So first of all this should happen. So once this from is resolved, then we have to check for the specific condition. How we can check for the specific condition? By checking this P. Once these two things are done, then we have to project. Then we have to project the values from A1 to AN. So why I am using the projection symbol here? Why I am using the projection symbol here? Because I have to retrieve, I have to project these attribute value from this, right? And we already know that in a relational algebra, the output will be always distinct. So there is no need to take care of this distinct in relational algebra. But in SQL, distinct is not by default. If you want to find out these distinct records, then you have to specifically mention this distinct word in the query. So this is the equivalent relational algebra query for this particular query, SQL query. So I hope that you got an idea what is the specific order, how we are resolving that, and how we can convert it. So now with this particular relational algebra query, you can easily understand the flow. How? Because I already told you that in a relational algebra, always the expansion starts from the inner query. So what is the inner query? This one. So this one should be executed first, which is the same as from, like in SQL. Then we have to check for the outermost, then for the next outer. So the sequence of expanding or resolving a query in SQL or in relational algebra is same, because in both we are going inwards to outwards. So this is the main motive of explaining this much thing. Now I am having an example here. Now let's try to understand some basic things. So here I am having example. I am having an enroll table, and in this enroll table I am having two attributes, student ID and course ID. In student ID I am having S1, S1, S2, S2, S3, and in course ID I am having C1, C2, C1, C2, C1. So what does this first query want? So this is a SQL query we want to resolve. So it is saying to select student ID from enroll table. So we have to select the student ID from the enroll table. What will be the output? Output would be a table with attribute as student ID, and under the student ID there will be 5 records. Why 5 records? Because in SQL there is no by default distinct. That means it will give you the repeated values if there are repeated values in the row. So you can see that S1 is repeated, S2 is repeated, and S3 is repeated. So this is not the case with relational algebra. But if after this select I am having distinct, then I will be getting the output as S1, S2, S3. So this is ID. This will be the output if I am having distinct in the query. So if distinct is there, then this will be the output, and distinct is not there, that means this will be the output. Now let's start with the second example. Now let's try to understand what is the second example. So here I am having R is a relation with 3 attributes and some values for each attribute. So here it says that select distinct A and B. So we have to select distinct value of A and B from R table. So first of all we need to check for the from. So we have the from table, that means we have to take values from this R. Now we have to select values of A and B. So what are the values of A and B? 2 4, 2 5, 3 4, 3 5, 2 4, 3 5, 2 4. But here I am having a distinct keyword. So what will be the output? Output will be A, B, value will be 2 4, the first one, 2 5 as the second one, 3 4 as the third one, 3 5 as the fourth one, and there is again a 2 4. So we cannot take this 2 4 again because of this distinct keyword. So this is already covered. Now next is 3 5. So you can see that 3 5 is also covered, so we cannot take this. Next is 2 4. 2 4 is also covered. So what will be the output? This will be the output of this particular query. Right? Now I am having one more question which may be important, which can come in your exam. So you have to be quite aware about these kind of questions also. So I am having a question where there are two tables R and S. There are two relation R and S with some attribute AB in R and CD in S. So they given a specific SQL query, select distinct R dot star. What is the meaning of this R dot star? That select all attribute, select all attribute from R, all attribute of R, sorry, all attribute of R relation from R comma S. So we have to find out which one of the following is true, which one of the following is true, such that result of SQL query should equal to R. The result of SQL query, this SQL query has to be equal to R. So when this can be happen, this we need to check. See, the first option, R has duplicate records and S is empty. So if S is empty, then we know that by performing R cross S, there will be no records. There will be no records if you perform R cross S and there is no record in S. So that means this is not possible because S is empty. If S is empty, we cannot perform the cross product, right? No, sorry, we can perform the cross product. Sorry. So we can perform the cross product, and if we perform the R cross S for the first option, it will give you R. But here it is saying that R is having duplicate record, but the output of this particular query will not be giving the duplicate record because of the distinct. So here we are getting duplicate records and here we are getting distinct records. That means it cannot be the answer. Now go with the second option. Here S is non-empty. Okay, if S is non-empty and R has distinct record. So if S is non-empty, then we can perform R cross S, right? And R has distinct record. If R is having distinct record, and here also we are getting the distinct record, that means in both the cases we are getting the distinct record. That means B is one possibility. Now let's go with the C option. So here also S is empty and R is having distinct record. Now C, S is empty means S is having the zero relation. If zero relation, R cross S is not possible. So this is the same reason for this one. I got confused a bit. So if S is empty, then R cross S is not possible. Similarly here, if S is empty, R cross S is not possible. Therefore these two options cannot be the answer, right? Now let's go with the D option. Here S is non-empty. S is non-empty, but see, R is having some duplicate record. Here we are having duplicate records. Here we are having some distinct record. That means it is also cannot be possible. So there is one possibility, B, right? So in case if you got somewhat confused, then make sure you got one thing, that if the another relation is empty, R cross product S is not possible. That means from is not possible if any one relation is empty. If it is non-empty, then we have to check for this particular property. So here we are having distinct, here also we are getting distinct. That means it is satisfying. Here we are getting duplicate, but here we are getting distinct. That means it is not same. Therefore B is the right answer. So if you found this video useful, like this video, share it with your friends, comment your feedback in the comment section and I will reply to that particular comments. And in case if you are having any query related to any subject or any counseling, you can just drop me a post or drop me a message on Facebook. I will give you those links in my profile in the description. So thanks for watching. Keep supporting, keep learning. Have a great day.